Terry is like on the verge of popping manager, and Jennifer Feeler is just like a few enrollments away from director, crystal director, no less. And Dawn is like just an enrollment or two away from regaining her director status. So you guys are like, you should be feeding off of each other. I mean, this is exciting. I think, Louisa, you've regained your manager status. I mean, folks are on fire, on fire. Okay, I see Jennifer's on the line. Awesome. So guys, the purpose of the call tonight is twofold. It's going to be a more intimate setting. I know people are in and out on vacation. That's just how the summer is. But I have really two goals and focuses for our call tonight. On the front end, I really want us to spend some time talking about objections. Because if you're pushing to rank advance and you're pushing to grow this business, then you're experiencing a significant amount of objections. It's natural. I actually just posted today a podcast by Carol Elizabeth, and she interviewed David Wood. I highly recommend you go listen to it. One of the things he talks about is the only difference between the millionaires in the company and the ones that aren't is when you interview them, it's the number of people they spoke to and the number of no's that they got. And the people who spoke to the most people had the most no's and were the millionaires. So I think Jessica Johnson is a phenomenal example. A couple of years ago, I went to one of David Wood's trainings, which, by the way, hands down, best event I've ever been to, and he's having another one in October. If you've not been to a university in action, which is different than an ICU, completely different, this will contribute to your life in such a way, not just with the business, but personally, professionally, in your day job, in your relationships. It's like a Tony Robbins experience, but with an Isagenix twist. I mean, it's phenomenal. I will be there. Anyway, so where was I going with this? Those of us who get the most no's are the ones who are growing a business. If you're not coming to the call tonight with some objections and some struggle and some challenge, I'm going to be tough brother and say, you aren't working hard enough. If you're not getting no's, you ain't working this business hard enough, okay? Because I get probably 10 to 15 no's for every yes. If you could see what I'm doing in LinkedIn right now, and the number of non-responses and no thanks, and isn't that MLM, I'm not interested, I'm not open, I'm too busy, great for you. I get those every day. But the thing is, the no's just get me excited because I know that I'm going to find my yeses with the more no's that I get, okay? So where am I going with this? I want to talk about objections with you guys on the first half of this call. And then on the second half of the call, I really want to get into an idea I have around us having a LinkedIn social media blitz. And I'm going to give you the background around it. So let's just start with objections. Hey, Laura. I gave you guys a pre-work, a video. Sadie's on the line. Hey, Sadie. I gave you guys a video to watch. And me too, right, Sadie? Blitzes are the best. They're so much fun. Tracy O'Malley did well, first of all, let's be honest. Let's just, we're adults here. Raise your hand if you didn't get around to watching the video that I posted yesterday. So everybody watched it. Awesome. Okay. So, because I know I gave it to you last minute. I usually give it to you a week in advance, but I'm like coming off of moving and vacation, and I'm like, anything's better than nothing, right? Like in the midst of chaos, you just have to take action. And so that's what I did. It was 2 days before we had this call, but that's important. So Tracy O'Malley is an Isagenix millionaire. She became an Isagenix millionaire super fast. Now, some of you might have watched the video and been like, who is this chick? Who is she? I could do this, right? Well, let me tell you, she's a gazillionaire with the company. She's crushed it. And some of what she said is a little out with the verbiage between a president's pack and a value pack and getting social security numbers. Hopefully you picked up on some of that we don't do that anymore. But her nuggets are invaluable. Like, they're all still tried and true, phenomenal insights. What I'd like to do in the next, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 minutes is just go around the group. And I'd love for each of you just to share one insight from the video that was just like, wow, like, hadn't really thought about that, or, you know, that really resonated with me, or yes, I've experienced that too. I'm glad that she shared that. Now I can add it to my, you know, bucket. So I'd love to just go around and hear from each of you just your thoughts on the video. Anybody want to go first? Oh, just what resonated? Sure, Jennifer, go for it. You're on mute though.
I'd be happy to go first.
Okay.
I just put in the chat, that was like the first time I watched it, and I learned something new every time. And then I felt like an idiot kind of on this, because I feel like I should know this already. Maybe I did and I just forgot it. Casually was like, yeah, I know you don't want to do the biz. I'm not asking you to do that. I just want you to continue to share. And she's like, in the company, and the whole point about the auto ship, or well, we can call it the Star Rewards, when she says, you're going to get an extra 10% off. Is that correct verbiage now? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
So how did I miss that every other time? How am I not using that? So I'm definitely going to be using that. But I think the more you listen to that, the easier that the answers are going to flow in conversation in your own words. So anyway, I think, yeah, she's totally laid back, but I think that's perfect. And she hit on so many different points, and I just want to keep listening to it again so that verbiage comes naturally,
right,
and confidently. I think the key thing every time is you say it matter of fact with comps, which I've come so far with that, but we can all get better.
Yeah. Oh, I couldn't agree more. I mean, the one thing, I mean, there was a lot of things that resonated with me, but I think the big thing that was through and through all the threaded throughout all of her messages, was confidence. Like, whatever it was you were articulating with an objection was confidence. When you start to hem and haw, your prospects, you know, feels your insecurity. Let's see, Laura's saying 5% discount with lifestyle rewards. Okay, thanks for the clarification, Laura. So maybe it's 5% now. The verbiage I use, I actually don't even get into the actual number, and it's interesting, no one's ever actually asked, but what I tell people is, but especially if it's someone I don't know and I'm sending them a cart, like we've all sent a cart out before, and then like you never hear back from the prospect because they're overwhelmed with it because they see the order, and then they see the shipping, and they see the price, and then they see the auto ship or the lifestyle, and they're like, what is this, right? And then like they go ghost on you. And so for people that I'm sending a cart to, before I send the cart, I tell them, hey, you know, just want to let you know that what you're going to get is a view of the product that you're ordering this month. But what you're going to see in the cart as well is your lifestyle rewards for next month. I've just set this up for you as a placeholder because it ensures when you start with the company with the lifestyle rewards, you get I just say the best wholesale pricing. I don't even give them a number. I don't say 5%. I don't say 10%. I don't say a dollar amount. I just say you get the best wholesale pricing I can possibly get you if I start you out with lifestyle rewards. You can cancel, edit, change it at any time. And as a matter of fact, there's a 99.9% chance within days of using these products, you're going to love some things, you're going to want to change flavors on some things, and you're going to want to edit this, and it's going to change, and that's perfectly fine. But I'm putting this placeholder in for you so that we can ensure you get the best wholesale pricing. And if you say that up front, before you send people a cart that has their order for this month and also like sticker shock shipment for next month, you have a lot more success. So I'm glad you brought that one up, Jennifer. Okay, guys, who else wants to share? Nuggets. Is that a baby crying or the air condition? I can never tell. Let me look at my notes while you guys are thinking.
I'd like to share.
Go for it.
I feel that the biggest objection I get is that of cost and continue with people that I talk to, whether they're building a biz or they're looking to, health reasons. It's always to be cost.
Right.
And so it's beneficial hearing that and reminding them that it covers, 2/3 of their grocery or whatever. But at the end of the day, people just have that in their head that it's too much money. And I'm kind of, I'm kind of struggling with trying to get them to see past that. Yes.
Yeah. And so
that's my thing.
So let's definitely dive into that in just a second. I'm making that our number one, I wanted to get insights from the video first and then dive into our actual personal challenges. And we'll talk about that. So we'll go back to that as a group discussion, Louisa, but what I will say that I love that Tracy O'Malley said, so I'll go ahead and share my nugget. And to your point, Jennifer, I've heard this video before, but for some reason, this just hit me square in the face today. When someone says, I can't afford it, she said, how would you like me to show you how I can change that for you? How powerful is that? When someone says, I can't afford it. And the thing that Tracy points out is it's kind of like the if I would you that I'm always promoting. If I would you, if I could show you how I could change that for you, would you be open to learning? And then you have to be confident and ready to write out you share, they share. And I think that a lot of people aren't confident. That's one of the next things we're going to do on our next team call here. Is write out the comp plan, you share, they share. If you can't put that to paper and you can't show people how to make $950 in the next 7 days, they don't know where to go with it, right? And you're probably not confident in leading with showing them how to do it, right? Okay, so Louisa, we'll come back to that. Any other nuggets that you guys just loved from the Tracy O'Malley video that you're going to take with you to your next prospect conversation?
I like back that, she said, I never use the word sell.
Yeah.
And I never used the word, I think she said business.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's interesting because when we first mentioned it to Lauren, our daughter, she said, well, I don't want to sell anything.
Yep.
Okay. And it's like, well, wait a minute, I'm telling you about the products. I'm not asking to sell anything, but that's the impression people get.
Yes.
And so that's what resonated with me. She never uses business or sell.
Right.
And, I think that's one of the reasons why she's very successful. Because, being in sales, sometimes when you walk in the door, because you're in sales, people think you're trying to sell them something, right?
Right.
And a lot of people don't want to be sold on anything.
That's right.
You have to put these and get them in a mindset to listen to what you want to say so that they will buy essentially what you're selling.
Yeah.
But it's all about how you wordsmith it.
Right. So Mike, you hit the nail on the head, and you're right. Tracy was immensely successful very early on. And we find this with a lot of top network marketers within Isogenics specifically. They're called accidental entrepreneurs. They're the people with the biggest hearts who had a personal impact with the product and just run with it, literally with their heart on their sleeves wanting to change lives, right? And you've got people like me and many of you on the line who are very business savvy, business oriented. We see the comp plan. We see what we can do with it. And I lead with the business through LinkedIn. I talk about the financial opportunity. It's part of my style, right? But there's a huge population of people out there who don't want to be sold and aren't interested in being entrepreneurs, but can completely get behind a nutrition that's going to change their life. And if it changes their life, they are willing to get behind sharing it with other people to change others' lives. When they've got this negative connotation around network marketing, I find that it's a really great kind of workaround. So I'm glad you brought that up, for sure. Now you've got people like Susan Miller who lead with the business, talk about the money, and she's very factual about it, and she's been really successful too. So clearly you can make $1,281,000 ways with Isogenics, right? And part of it's just flexing with your prospects. What other nuggets? We get one more nugget maybe before we go into bringing in your challenges. I'll say one of the things that she brought up that I'm like, this is going to be a power post for me on LinkedIn one day soon, was the 40-40-40. Like, so many people work the 40-40-40 plan. They work 40 hours a week for 40 years to retire for 40% of their pay. I just love that. That's really catchy. And I'm like envisioning, how can I put that together in a post? So anyway, where I'll land on this video is that many of you know Herb and Patty Cepeda. Some of you have had the luxury of actually meeting him personally. I think Terry and Becky and Jennifer have met him personally at his house. He's the #1 income earner in the world for Isagenix. #1. He lives here in Charlotte. He's a mentor of mine. He's making $250,000 a month. And one of the things that they have shared over and over and over again, and this is why they were so immensely successful, is they weren't professional, they weren't experts in Isagenix when they came in. They didn't know everything about the products. They didn't know everything about the business. But what you hear Patty say and her is that they sat down and studied the business, studied the objections, studied and memorized what to say. There is an art to connecting. There is an art to having an open personality and being willing to connect. But if you haven't practiced the right words to come out of your mouth, you're not going to succeed. When you've got someone like Patty Cepeda, who had this visceral desire to get her husband, state trooper, out of the line of fire, nothing was going to get in her way. And she sat down with a notebook and she wrote and she practiced and she memorized and she wrote and she practiced and she memorized. My point is, if one of your biggest challenges with this business is objections, then I would recommend you research and listen and scribe as many responses as you possibly can within Isagenix, because then you're going to be 10 foot tall and be able to manage any of those objections. And it's no different than in my previous professional career. That was a huge part of what we did, was manage objections by our customers. But I studied it and memorized it and knew exactly what to say. Okay. So me and you and everybody included, I'm going to go back and scribe and make sure I've got a lot of that down pat. So let's talk about some of your real challenges. So Louisa, you're saying that you're still stumbling across people who are really, and I've seen this with a couple of your prospects who've gotten on the calls, and they seem really interested. They're open to entrepreneurism. But their pushback and hesitation to commit is cost. Even when you break it down to a shake and a shot a day. And where was it? Actually, I'm having a moment because I'm thinking about something else Tracy O'Malley said that could be really good with this, with people who say they can't afford it, is, do you eat? Do you eat? Because if you can eat, you can afford these products, right? A shake is less than $3 a meal. So, my counter to that, and Lisa, you and I have been back and forth about this, but when I get someone who's coming into some pretty major cost objections, they're just not in the right, they're not quite there yet. If we can't get past cost to them, even though we've drawn the dotted line of if you eat, you can afford this, which is absolutely true, then we just haven't uncovered or helped draw the line directly to their need, their problem, and Isagenix being the solution. And it's not necessarily our fault. Like we've casted the vision. We've shared with them the story. We've talked about the compensation plan. Just like we would, and that I've brought Susan Miller on many three-way calls. Some people just aren't ready to receive that. And we have to bless that and move on and keep in our journal that we're going to follow up with them, because I wasn't ready to receive it. I was prospected for 8 months. Here I am retired almost 2 years doing this now, right? If Amanda Ham had given up on me because I wasn't interested and I gave her similar BS excuses that, you know, I like to chew. I don't want that. I can't afford it. And they were all excuses because I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to commit until my mindset was ready to commit. There was nothing Amanda could have said to me 8 months previous to open me up to it. Nothing. So sometimes we have to just bless and release. So that, I mean, and I know that's not helpful for you. Like I know, Louisa, you're looking for, I want something different. How do I pull these people in? I've spent so much time on them. My feedback is continue to follow up. Because what I have found is when people give me excuses that they're interested but not ready, I just honor that and follow up and continue to follow up and continue to follow up until they're ready or they ask me to take them off my follow-up list. And I'll politely ask. I follow up 2 days later, I follow up 2 weeks later, and then I follow up 2 months later. And at the 2-month mark in my message, I say, look, I don't want to be a nag, but you seemed really interested. I just wanted to follow back up one more time. You know, would you like for me to continue following up with you till you're ready? It's now a good time, or would you rather me take you off my follow-up list? That's a really polite way of nudging people, and they'll tell you one way or the other. And if people don't respond, they're not ready. To me, they're not ready, but they're not saying no, and I'm going to follow up until they tell me not to. Does anybody have any other thoughts for Louisa on how you would handle someone that you've spent time with, who seemed really interested? You've proposed to them a plan that is you know, a shake and a shot a day, and they're still saying they can't work it into their budget. Any other thoughts on how you guys would handle that, or where you've seen that and then you've been able to overcome it?
So, can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I've had that with 2 of my people, and what I did was I asked what their point is so that I can meet them where they are comfortable at. And then after that, we figure out a package, and then I let them know that, you know, after a while you're going to love, and then you're going to, at that point, like, you're going to want to add other products to the line, and that's okay. But just, you know, get started, get feeling better. And then I usually check in with them after a couple days, then maybe a week later.
Yeah. I love that.
I think, like, especially like being able to meet them halfway, or that you're willing to do that, I think is really important. And they become even more receptive as like you out.
Yeah. I love that mindset. And it's so true. You know, we're super focused on 100 VV and then being active and then accumulating business. And in our mindset, if we're recruiting them for the business, you know, in our mind, we're like, why wouldn't they be at 100 BD per month to accumulate the volume? But the reality is they don't know what they don't know, right? And if we can't get that past them and their mindset when they first get started, it's okay to find crumbs to make a meal. And what I mean by that is maybe they buy a canister of shake, or they do a 9-day cleanse to get started. And that is the ticket to folding them into the global exec team, right? So, you know, all they have to do is order one product from you to get access to our training, right? So Louisa, maybe that's something you consider is, look, you know, it sounds like being a committed business builder, or being committed to a business model of being the committed consumer isn't in your budget right now. But if you're eating, I can help you begin your journey with this company and these products by just simply replacing one meal a day or one snack a day. You know, let's get you started somewhere and meet people where they are. So we've got some raised hands. That's what Jennifer says. That's exactly why I can't wait for Isagenix new plan to meet people where they are. I can't wait for Monday's announcement. Yes, I agree. Okay, Maeva, welcome. What do you have to say, doll? You're muted. I don't know if she knows she's muted.
I didn't realize I raised my hand, but unfortunately, I didn't get the chance to watch the video. I'm just coming. I had a crazy day with my car and stuff, but I didn't want to miss this opportunity to listen in. But I'm listening. I agree. I have had the issue with trying to meet people where they are. So I'm just excited that Isogenics and Susan Miller is presenting this, and I'm super excited about it. I actually met with her last week. She was in Philadelphia, and I had the opportunity to meet with her, and she did the isogenic cash flow quadrant. I have presented it several times this weekend, so I'm super psyched about that, and I'm just pushing forward with that. And I do love the idea to meet people where they are. I think that's going to be pivotal in my experience, as well as I think many other people.
Absolutely. I know. Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. I'm excited about it. Okay. So let's move on. And I'm so glad you were able to see and meet Susan and hear her pencil pitch, because it's phenomenal. I was there when it really started to evolve in her brain, and she was starting to scratch it out, and it's incredible. What other challenges are you guys having that you want some group coaching on? Hear from your peers on how you're handling it.
You know, it seems like the majority of the people on our list are gluttons. Yeah, you know, their main passions in life are eating and drinking alcohol. It's
Yep.
like everything in their lives revolves around that.
Yep.
And so, like, we got, Diane's sister Lori started on it. She did the cleanse for 9 days. She felt great. Well, now she stopped her auto ship, and she's to order from time to time when she needs stuff. And we were talking about it, and we thought, well, Jeff and Lori, they do like to eat and drink a lot, and it's like, in my own mind, I'm thinking, okay, these products are taking you from an acidic state to an alkaline state. You've already demonstrated, that you felt better. But yet the real priority is just eating whatever we want and drinking whatever we want.
Right.
And so that, to me, has been one of the hardest objections to overcome, to get people to see, look, if you'll make these changes in your life, you'll become healthier, you'll feel better, and ultimately you're going to live longer. Mm-hmm. But yet the draw of, drinking alcohol and eating whatever you want being at the top of the list, like the most powerful motivator in their lives. And so we're struggling with how to overcome that.
Yeah. So does anybody want to speak to that with Mike? Anybody want to give their feedback?
I do.
Okay. Who's I do? Terry? Go for it, Terry. Yeah, I hear you.
I don't know how these things work. So yeah, Mike, I just want to say something to that with some things that I'm dealing with. So the first one with my first sign up, Ward Holdridge, he's almost 80, and he was 250 and wanted to lose weight. He hasn't been responsive to me at all. And finally, he sent me an email saying, I've been very disappointed. I only lost 12 pounds. And I was like, what the hell? In like 3 weeks. And, I was really just kind of annoyed. Like, what does he expect? So I kind of, I wrote back, like, it's a lifestyle change. Imagine, I said, it's not like a quick fix. It's a lifestyle. And how do you feel? Like, how do you feel though? And imagine where you'll be in 12 months if you do that every month. And then he didn't like the blender, and they bought so it was kind of like, and maybe I responded too quickly to him too. I mean, I was calm, but still, it was, so just hope he stays on his auto ship, because I get it that people could just be on it for the quick fix, and then they're off, like you said, Mike, back to their old habits. And the next one that I have that I'm dealing with is this guy, Big Mike. And he's he or 400 pounds, and a friend of mine put him on it, and he was going to pay her back, which he's been doing. I got him on the weight loss value pack. He didn't have a lot of money. But at the time, I didn't really understand this new concept, just, just getting the 100 BV and get everyone kind of happy and living their life. So now Mike, he's down 15 pounds in the first 3 weeks. And we know he's cheating a lot. And I'm trying to and his friend's really frustrated. And her husband both signed up. They're really fitness oriented, health oriented. So they're in it at the long haul. Now they have the kids on it. But they're really frustrated with Mike. And I'm always trying to explain to them, and this is something to think about, everyone, that when you're someone who's obese or someone who's big, like I've been, and have real food addiction issues, I don't have the alcohol, but I have you cheat a lot. I mean, I could have lost 80 pounds by now, but I'm only down like 35, because I cheat a lot. And that's the real things. I think it's natural. I think that we need to, and I'm trying to get that through to Terry, like, be happy with 15 with him, that it wasn't 30 because he's cheating, but be happy with that. Imagine where he'll be in 1 year, losing 15 pounds a month.
Right.
And we just want to get him to stay on it, and at least just order the 100 BV now and just stay on the breakfast shake at the very least, and let him have his 2 other meals. He can lose weight, but at least keep him 1 meal of having this great nutrition.
Yep. Yeah. So this is all so good, Terry and Mike, and I've got a couple nuggets I want to hit on this. And Sadie is saying the person has to want to do it, and sometimes they just aren't ready and continue to look for excuses. I'm guilty of it myself. Jennifer's recommending the Gretchen Rubin's 4 tendencies to understand personality and tendencies. It'll help you with coaching and understanding your people. Absolutely. These people are obligers. They need that accountability. So a couple of things here that I want to hit on. So first of all, I'm just going to respond to your current scenarios with these people. And then I'm just going to like totally scramble your brain for a second. And you're going to be like, what? So first of all, I think that the key with these people who are coming in for dramatic weight loss, who have a significant amount of weight to lose, who have really poor eating habits, they take a lot of hand holding because they're clearly not healthy, right? And it's not been their habit or their lifestyle. And so it can be really difficult. Like, you're going to look at people to this day. I talk about this, people who are new to isogenics all the time. They sit down in a room and they see people who are overweight. And the more overweight they are, the more they're thinking, oh my God, they need this. Like, I'm like so compelled to talk to this person. The reality is we have to be okay with meeting people where they are, and level setting expectations, and also letting people know that it's a lifestyle, that it's not an all or nothing, right? So when you're enrolling these people who this is a huge change for them from having 12 Twinkies a day and Coke and ice cream and chips and being sedentary to like restricting calories and doing a 30-day system, you're going to terrify them if you're telling them they have to follow this program to a T, and they are going to get wrapped around the axle and they're going to throw in the towel and they're going to quit, right? The more we can coach them to it being flexible and easing into it, and it's not all or nothing. There's many people that I say, look, if you can just start, and Jessica talks about this all the time, just start with 2 shakes. Start with 2 shakes a day. I don't care. And Murray Miller said this to Karam whenever I enrolled him. Let me mute out some of the background noise. Hang on a second. I remember Murray Miller saying to Karam, look, you don't even have to do the cleanse. You don't even have to follow the program. Just get 2 shakes a day in your body for the next month, and I dare you not to feel different. Like, you will feel different. And as people get momentum and they start to feel better, they want to implement more. But having said that, people have to be motivated and want to change their habits. Okay. So I think that the take home message here is with customers like that, we want to reiterate the flexibility piece so that they don't just completely fall off. Because if they come in on a 9-day or they come in on a 30-day and they get halfway through and they're just like, shit, I cannot handle this. Like I want my ice cream and I want my glass of wine. I've learned over the years, let them have their ice cream, let them have their glass of wine. But if they still implement 2 shakes a day and they drink the cleanse right before they go to bed, they're going to be healthier than they were. Right? So meet them where they are, because the more all or nothing you are, you're going to scare those people away. Okay. So let me just scramble your brain for a second and just get all Susan Miller on you. I personally recruit for business now. I'm looking for the committed consumer. Okay. I'm not looking for people who want to lose weight. And Terry, you asked about this the other day. How do you shift to the business? How do you lead with the business? And we are a health and wellness company. We do have an incredible weight loss solution. That's not all that we are. We are an entire health and wellness company that people thrive on and live on the products, living a healthier life, not just weight loss, but with performance and healthy aging. And I actually have found in the past year and a half that when I lead with the financial opportunity, not weight loss, the financial opportunity, I am bringing in people who are motivated already to be committed consumers, because I've recruited them for the business. And when I recruit them for the business, and one of the very first conversations is, what's the cost of being a part of this business? Well, the cost of being a part of this business is just to eat the food. You need to eat a minimum threshold of 100 BV per month. And this is what you're probably going to hear about next week. And what we're moving forward towards is the committed consumer. Whether you want to come in for weight loss or you're a Mike Dodsworth who came in for redirecting his spend on the performance line. If I had gone after Mike for weight loss, he wouldn't be on the line today, right? Mike and I interacted because I talked about entrepreneurship and aligning with the health and wellness company and a second stream of income. And he saw that and thought, wow, I'm healthy. I work out. I use supplements. I could probably get behind what she's doing. Melissa, tell me more. And so, again, everybody leads their business in different ways. Like I said at the very beginning, there's 281 ways to make $1 million a year. I personally have found that when you recruit heavy for product, specifically weight loss, you're recruiting people that you're going to have to then work to change their mindset that maybe they'd be interested in this business. Even though it's like Susan Miller said the other day, when someone comes in to the salon to get their hair done, has your hairstylist ever asked you when he's cutting your hair if you'd be interested in cutting hair and partnering with him when you absolutely don't have the skill or the interest? You just wanted to come in and get your hair done, right? And so some of these people that you're bringing into your organization, hands down, you're going to completely change their health. You're going to completely change their life. And some of them whose lives are completely transformed are going to be excited and share with the world, right? Like you're doing, Terry, and it's incredible, right? But it's going to be a whole lot easier for you guys to have committed consumers who are committed to the 100 BV per month if you're recruiting for the financial opportunity. Does that make sense? If you're recruiting for the financial opportunity, people understand the commitment to stay committed and redirect that spend. If you're spending 100% of your time recruiting for weight loss, then you're recruiting for people to get their hair cut in a salon and then trying to talk them into owning a salon, right? But if you're breaking up some of your recruitment and not just recruiting for health transformations, but also recruiting for a financial opportunity, a second stream of income, those people who lean in and say, yes, tell me more, you are going to have so much more success with them staying on board. I look into my back office and I've exclusively been recruiting aggressively for the business for the last year and a half. That doesn't mean I'm not recruiting people for the product. I mean, it's not that I'm not enrolling people for the product, but those people are coming to me because of my brand and what I'm putting out there. I'm not looking for it, if that makes sense. It's the people I've recruited for the business who are still active. They're still ordering 100 BV. The people who came in to lose the weight, lost the weight, said thanks, and they're out, unless there's that one out of every 10 or 15 who catch the vision and decide that they want to build the business. So did I just like completely scramble your brain, Terry, and you're just like, oh my God, like, what is she saying? I mean, everybody,
Wait,
go for it.
Can I say?
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
So you'll be very pleased to hear. I know you've been telling us to do this, but I've been the late comer, only because I've been focused so much on my little close network, near me. It's kept me really busy. Although, like we've all agreed, it's probably not in the best way. Although it's been a good learning experience, but I just want to announce that I went on my laptop and I reactivated my LinkedIn account. So today, like tonight.
Awesome.
So, and it's so embarrassing to admit to everyone, because I am the CEO of a recruitment a firm in Russia, and I have like 4,000 followers or something on there, and tons of messages that I haven't even responded to. I haven't been on probably 4 years. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, and it's
now
we're going to talk about it.
I've been an absent CEO, which thankfully I'm still there working.
You're
But
so funny.
But I'm getting all of this is helping me just get back into the game of, and I love business. I'm really excited to pitch it globally. A lot of my contacts are all over the world, so we'll see how it goes. I'm really excited to try.
And it's fun. And it's fun. You're going to get consumers, you're going to get product users by default. There's a number of people on LinkedIn that I recruit for the business, and my own personal story, like 30-second story, includes my product journey. And many people can relate to the struggle of being a corporate professional and trying to balance it all. And they hear my story and they're like, look, you're really inspiring. It's great what you're doing. I could never do that. But tell me more about that nutrition, because I'm totally living your life 5 years ago. And that segues into a consumer. But here's the difference. I led with the business, right? So they already know I'm an entrepreneur. I led with the business, and it's not going to offend them for me to ensure that before we're done with the enrollment, I explain to them that I'm on a team that's exploding. You're going to be on a position that's gaining a ton of volume. I know you say you're not interested in the business right now, but you're going to love these products. And what I want you to do is just make sure you stay that committed consumer of 100 BV or more per month, because in the next 2 or 3 years, you may change your mind. And now you have a savings account. Now the difference between that and someone who came to you or you approached about weight loss is that there's nothing weird about that conversation with someone that I prospected on LinkedIn about the business who decided they just wanted the product, because I led with the business, right? Versus Aunt Sue, who saw some results with other people and decided she wanted to do it. And she lost some weight, and that was great, but she has zero interest in the business and zero interest in staying on the products anymore and would rather go back to her Twinkies. Now, that's a much more uncomfortable conversation to have about trying to twist her arm to stay active, to keep me, let's be honest, keep me as a consultant. It's more about me than it is about her, because she doesn't want to be a part of it. Do you see the difference? And so... yeah. And, I can talk out of both sides of my mouth, because I just enrolled someone a couple of weeks ago, Dr. Bowman, 100% for product. And I'm coaching him, I'm cleanse coaching him. But the funny thing is, I've been recruiting him for business for the past 3 years and haven't been able to get the guy to sign up. And then finally, when he was ready, I've been getting no's from him for 3 years. When he was ready, he reached out to me and he's like, I feel gross. I am overweight and I'm not really interested in the business, but get these products in me. A week later, he feels amazing. And he's like, tell me about the business. But it's not weird, because I led with the business. You see what I'm saying? Okay. This is like a hot topic for me. All right. Well, hopefully hopefully this is helpful, but you guys, it will be less uncomfortable when you're more bold about the opportunity. Okay, what other challenges are you guys having? Throw another challenge at me before I roll out this LinkedIn thing. Let me look at the chat box. Martin had his hand raised. Martin, was that an accident or would you like to speak?
It was, hi guys, sorry I was late. It was in relation to a comment that was made earlier, but it's passed and it's been addressed. So.
Okay, all right, awesome. Welcome to the call.
All right.
By the way, Martin is like just like blazing trails, making his own videos. I got to see his like 2-minute introduction the other day. He is owning this business, the boss that he is, and I'm so excited to see where this goes. Okay, so Susan Maeva says, Susan addressed this on her Zoom call from yesterday. I think only 15 million people come from weight loss, 90 million for performance, and 121 million for energy. This is on one of her slides. Absolutely. Guys, and when I'm so glad you gave me the statistics, Maeva, because it took, Susan had to like brainwash me. Because listen, I came in as a product user. I came in as a PharmD who read every single label and got 100% behind the products first and led with the product and made a 6-figure business out of it first. And I was trading a significant amount of time for money still and making my business influencer. And I wasn't creating leadership because I had a bunch of product users. No one was interested in building, so I was leading with the product. And it wasn't until I went into business that you guys all started to show up because you're interested in the business and you're all committed and you're all consuming over 100 million dollars. Now imagine 6 months, a year from now, you're running a call just like this with 10, 12, 15 committed consumers because you led with the business. Hopefully this is making sense. Okay, I'm gonna mute everybody because we're getting lots of background. Hang on 1 second. I think I muted. Okay, go ahead, Martin, unmute yourself. I just muted everybody because there was a lot of background noise.
Cool, no problem. Thanks. That point you just made, I listened to a portion of Susan Miller's call yesterday or the day before, and your hairdresser analogy is perfect. I don't want people to come in and get a haircut. I want people who want to cut hair. You know, that's what we're looking for, because that's truly network marketing. I don't want to just be an online franchise selling shakes or protein bars or fill in the blank product. I'm frankly not that interested in that. I am interested in running a business and building a network of people. So I think it's a subtle but significant difference that she mentioned. And I think that's what I'm hearing you kind of double down on right now.
Yes, absolutely. And it's a tough mind shift because so many came in for the product, right? But those who have the significant wealth with this company have grown into leading and developing the business, right? You can only get so far. You can, if you work really hard and crazy hours outside of your 9 to 5, you can hit 6 figures and rolling with product. If you are really, you know, if you're credible and you've got the network and you've got the grit and the grind, you could do it for sure. You'll burn out. I found that out quickly in a 1.5 years that every other month I was out having to find more consumers because they were falling off. So I was constantly chasing new product users because they were falling off because I wasn't looking for the committed consumer to grow my network, like you were saying, Martin. So just keep that in mind as we transition. So guys, let's talk about my brainchild because we've got about 9 minutes left. And I'm going to post details on this. I've already got it timed to be posted tomorrow morning because I have no childcare on Friday. The summertime is a challenge for me. So I've already got it out. It's ready for you because that's when I usually do some of those things. So here's the deal. Some of you guys are pretty new. And so I just want to give you the background. How I made 6 figures in Isogenics was through social media. No doubt. But social media has changed significantly since Renee Schreidman, Amanda Ham, and Elizabeth Lacconi and I all pushed and grew. And I was on the tail end of that. I was the last one to come in that leveraged social media and scooted in and was able to rank advance and grow a business through Facebook. The algorithms have changed. Some of you may be playing with Instagram. You may have a different platform, and that is perfectly fine. I personally have found that our strategy as a team with Global Exec, with Susan Miller and with Isagenix, leading with the financial opportunity, there is no better platform than LinkedIn, right? And I'm not, this call is not for me to get into why on that. If you guys missed my training earlier on LinkedIn, go back to our team Facebook page on this, go back and listen to the videos, go back into the Global Exec team recorded calls and listen to my LinkedIn overviews. I'm not going to do that tonight, but I am a testament to the LinkedIn strategies working. I enrolled Martin off of LinkedIn. I enrolled Louisa off of LinkedIn. I enrolled Mike Dodsworth off of LinkedIn, and and Laura's here because I enrolled Louisa off of LinkedIn. So I hope this is making sense to you guys. They all came in interested in the business, okay? Now, here's the thing. 3 or 4 years ago, when social media was different, and it was smaller and there were not crazy algorithms, we could get in there and do these blitzes and create a ton of excitement and awareness around product. And when we did that and we supported each other, it would boost our posts and our feeds and create lots of visibility across everyone's networks on social media. And I created a ton of traction in recruiting my warm network in social media. Now, with Facebook, think about it. It's mostly friends and family, okay? So with Facebook, that's where I started, and everyone I recruited was for weight loss. It wasn't for the business. It was for health and wellness. It wasn't even for performance at first, because really I was focused on those 30-day systems, the value pack and the weight loss system, right? But I built a 6-figure business off of that. What we have found, I was kind of the last student of that generation before social media, Facebook specifically, got really wonky. And you haven't seen a lot of growth in business off of Facebook since then, because people are oversold product now, because every network marketer on the planet has figured it out, okay? But what people haven't figured out, and most network marketers aren't playing with, is LinkedIn. And so my brainchild is that we take the social media blitz concept from the old days of product and we apply it to LinkedIn, but we lead with business. So let me tell you what this looks like. I'm just going to draw analogies to what we used to do and what we can do on LinkedIn. So with our social media blitzes, and Amanda's team's doing one right now on Facebook. They're doing like a blitz. And what we would do is a couple times a week, we'd go in and post things to create brand and awareness for us. And this is one thing I've been challenging you guys to focus on is, who are you? What do you represent? Who are you trying to attract? I think Martin and Louisa did a really great job a couple of weeks ago of talking about some of the resources that they use and research and content that they pull from as they're building their brand and they're building their awareness and who they want to attract on social media. So on the blitzes, what it is that we all, on the social media blitzes with the product, what we did was we'd all, a couple days a week, make posts to create awareness or brand, and we all supported each other. We'd let each other know when we were posting, and we'd all jump in and comment. You want to write a comment that has a couple of words in it, because it creates more value for the post and rises it to the top of the feed, okay? So we would do this, and if you think about a whole team doing this, when one person makes a post and 12 people give love to it, it continues to bring it to the top of the feed for your network throughout the day. So maybe I make a post tomorrow morning. I'm just giving an example. We're not going to start tomorrow morning. Let's say I make a post tomorrow morning about residual income on LinkedIn. And then Becky likes it and then comments in there at 10 a.m. and it boosts it to the top of my feed again for my entire network to see. And then at 12 p.m., Jennifer jumps in and she comments and it brings it back to the top of the feed again. And then Terry jumps in at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and she makes a comment and it brings it back up to the top of the feed. So the purpose is, social media is like a river, right? And it's a river that's flowing. And your network peaks in and out at different times of the day. And whenever they peak in, they're going to see what's flowing through the river. If you're not getting comments and you're not getting traction and love, it's going to flow through the river once. And if your network looked in after it was flown through the river, they're never going to see it. You know, people think they make a post and everybody in their network has seen it. Like my mom, it drives me crazy. She's like, did you see my post this morning? I'm like, no, I did not see. Like, she thinks that's how I keep up with her. And I don't. My head wasn't in the river when that information was flowing through. It is gone. Unless a couple people commented on it and the algorithm brings it back up to the top to flow through the river again. And if I put my head in the river at the right time, I might see it. Okay? So the more we love and comment and support each other, the more our feed goes to the top of the river to flow through our network again throughout the day. So this is where it's going to be a love fest for us to support each other. And so let me just walk you guys through what it's going to look like. To participate, in order to get love, you must give love. Okay, so if you guys want to participate in this social media blitz, if you're getting love from people and you're participating, you need to make sure once a day you're going in and giving love back, right? Yeah, absolutely, it's a love fest. So make it a practice. So one of the first things you guys are going to need to do, you've already been thinking about your brand, who you're trying to attract, what you represent. You need to think about what kind of content you want to put out there. And if you're not sure, this is the time to get into LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, type hashtags of categories of things that you're interested in and start finding some inspirational material. I steal all of my material on the daily. Like, I took a quote from Emily Vavra. If you guys aren't following her on Facebook, you should. She's brilliant. She's quite the glamour girl, but her content is phenomenal. Many times I'll take her quotes and put them on a different kind of tile and put them on LinkedIn. And it gives it a whole different vibe. So you need to, I don't want to overwhelm you guys with too much to do, but if we all can commit to just 3 days a week, post interesting, intriguing content on LinkedIn. Doesn't have to, I don't want it to have anything to do with Isagenix. Okay? I don't want the brand to be in there. I don't want you to be selling a shake. I want you to think about what is it that you represent. I think about what Martin just said about growing networks of people and being an entrepreneur and lifestyle. I want, and it's okay if it's around health and wellness and nutrition, but just remember what you're attracting, right? Are you attracting the person who's going to be a committed consumer to 100 BD per month? Or are you putting out there weight loss and attracting people who want to lose weight, get their goal and then leave, right? So I want you guys to start doing your homework immediately to, if you haven't already, start thinking about who do you represent? I want you to get uncomfortable and I want you to create some content to put out there. The whole purpose of social media is to create interest, to provide value. You're not going to enroll anyone on the spot doing this. You're just going to start to create followers who are like, what is he all about? What is she all about? I'm watching Martin do it right now. I'm like, his posts are so fascinating. I'm sure his entire network is like so curious about what it is he's doing, right? And over a matter of time, you're going to start inquiring. What's going to happen is people are going to start to we're going to love on your post. So when you go in to make your post, you need to love on everyone else's posts, okay? And that's going to create that boost in feed. But what's going to happen over time is you're going to start to see some occasional likes and some occasional comments from people in your network. And that's going to give you a carrot to go after, to go reach out to those people. And I'll coach you guys on that when we get to that piece. So start creating your content. Start thinking about what you want to put out there just 3 days a week. And here's the deal. You need to go find each other. You've got the names of everyone in this group on the thread. Okay, on your Facebook thread. I'm seeing Terry look really confused right now. So if you go to our Facebook thread and you click on the group and the names, you can find, and let me know if you guys are lost on this. You can see everyone that's on our group, okay? And I want you to go to LinkedIn, and I want you guys, this is only going to work if we're connected, and we can see each other's content, right? So that's your first homework assignment, is go find the people on our team, hit the connect button, okay, and start creating your content. And over the next, I'm giving you 7 days. Over the next 7 days, I want you guys to come up with 3 different posts of your brand, what you represent, what you're trying to attract, okay? And when you post, and again, all of this is going to be in our Facebook page tomorrow. I'm going to have everything written out for you, so don't feel like you have to memorize all of this. When you make a post, make sure you go into our Facebook Messenger group that we communicate on and just write posted, okay? Because all of us, a couple days a week, when you're going into LinkedIn to post, you need a love. You need the love fest, right? So if you're going into post, I also want you to go to the thread and see who posted. And I want you to not just make your post, but go love on the people in this group who also posted. And they will reciprocate. I'll tell you, the way I did my social media blitz is I loved on the people who loved on me, right? So there's like 50 people in this group, I think, maybe 40. All 40 or 50 aren't going to participate. Some are going to be selfish and just post content and not love on anybody. And I pick up on that quickly, and I'm like, I don't have time to go find you if you don't have time to go find me. Like, I love you, but good luck, right? So you want to support each other. Guys, nobody's doing this. Nobody's doing this. And I think that this is going to be a really fun experiment. I just want to do this for 2 weeks. Okay. I'm going to stop now. It's just going to be a 2-week challenge. I'm going to pull up the chat box. What is her name? Emily Vavra. Yes. Pay it forward. Thanks, Sadie. Okay. Questions. I know we're running a little late and I've given you a lot to chew on.
Oh, I have a question.
Yep. Go ahead, Terry.
Okay. So I've sent you a request, Melissa, but so Mike, I just started working on Mike. So there's like 4 Mike Dodsworth in here. I can't tell which one is Mike.
Oh,
are you the tooling engineer? No? What?
He's a medical device sales rep.
At Bale? Because he doesn't have a picture on that one, yes? Okay.
Yeah,
I guess we
that's
just
me.
text each other to say like, which job, what do you do?
Yeah, and you guys use Messenger to communicate with each other and be like, is this you? Right? So let's all become friends.
Okay.
Friend request, and I'll jump in. I'll probably jump in tomorrow morning once all the requests are in there, so that I'm just doing it once or twice and accept all the requests. Now, we're gonna connect with each other and we're gonna love on each other. What I will tell you, and that this is because we're in a blitz and we're on the same team and we want to do this. Unlike Facebook and Instagram, I don't suggest you go out and friend everyone in Isogenics on LinkedIn, because it can get really messy as far as prospecting and recruiting. And that's for a whole nother conversation. But for our small, intimate group, we should totally be doing it. Okay? So who's excited about this? Who's like nervous as hell to do this? Jennifer? Yeah.
No.
I'm excited.
This is awesome.
It's just like what we do on Facebook. It's not a Scott.
Scott Garrett is in pharmaceutical sales. You know, here's the funny thing, guys. It's going to be so much fun, and we're going to love seeing each other's content. And steal it shamelessly. I wouldn't repost it in LinkedIn because people are going to see that like you posted something that you just commented on, but steal it and go put it on another platform. Yeah. Go put it on go put it on Facebook, go put it on Instagram, save it a couple weeks later and post it yourself on LinkedIn. But what's really cool about this, because I've been doing this for a couple of months now with Murray Miller and Laura Thompson and Joe Ames. And what's really cool is when people within our network start to comment, people get curious, because what they do is they look through the comments and they'll start clicking on profiles. Because I've gotten this comment from people before that I've enrolled. They've said, gosh, I just looked through the people who are commenting and like looked at their profiles, and they're like all like doctors and pharmacists and like corporate executives. And I thought, like, what am I missing out on? right? So there's that validation piece when it's not just you being like, here I am, like excited about life, but you've got the validation of credible people underneath you. Like, yeah, like Jessica Johnson, you guys go into my LinkedIn profile today. Jessica stole my post from Facebook, and it's a horrible picture of me and a gorgeous photo of her, and she put it on LinkedIn. And like, but it's hilarious, and it's us having fun, right? Don't be afraid to have fun on this platform. People try to be so polished and so professional there, but I've gotten the most traction when I'm just authentically myself, because so many people on LinkedIn want nothing more than to get out from behind that cubicle or that computer. And so us loving and living life and being inspired and fun motivates them, right? And intrigues them. All right, so that's a wrap. I am more than excited, okay? Let's see. What's your suggestion to do when people review your profile? Yeah, for sure. Girl, I am like a stalker on LinkedIn. I do this all the time, Jennifer. I'll see people view my profile and I directly message them to connect because they're clearly checking me out. So I'll send them a message and I'll just say, hey, you know, I love connecting. I'll say something about their profile and something that we have in common, and just say, you know, I'm always looking to connect with like-minded people. Would love to add you to my network. And then once they accept, then I get into action and ask them if they'd be open to watching a video. And so we'll get more into that as you guys start to get responses and comments. We're going to walk through this. I want you guys taking screenshots. I want you sharing them in Messenger so that we can group coach and we can group talk about how you manage these things. So let's see, chat here. That's my thing. I feel like I'm stalking if I go look at people's profiles. I always reach out and connect, Jennifer. Yes. You're not stalking if you're looking at profiles. That's what people do on LinkedIn. That's what people are in there for. People are looking for opportunities, right? They're curious. So this is the other thing. You're going to want to clean up your profile. Go look at your profile and ask yourself, is it representing who you are today? Okay? Because when you start making these posts, people are going to be like, who is this chick? Or, oh, that's Melissa. What is she up to? I haven't seen her in 10 years since she was at XYZ. And if they click on your profile and it's a photo of you from like college, or there's no picture of you, or your profile is completely outdated, you know, you want to make sure you're well represented. Okay. Any other questions? Guys, just have fun. Can we just have fun with this and just like let our hair down and not care what the world thinks, because that's liberating to other people. Okay. Okay, Maeva, thanks so much for this. This is great for getting us to move out of our comfort zones. Yeah, and we're going to have so much fun. I can't wait to see the content you guys come up with, okay? I can't wait. My other thought was to actually give you guys topics, and maybe we'll do that on a future blitz that we can do with the larger team. But for this round, I just wanted to give you guys the freedom to post whatever you want. If we find that that's like paralyzing and that you need topics, I'll create topics. Because when we did our product social media blitzes, we had topics each day. So people were very directed in what to post. But I want to give you guys the freedom to brand yourself however you want. So go stalk people who inspire you. Go see what they're putting out there. Steal it. Doesn't matter what platform it's coming from, and put it in LinkedIn and see what you get. Okay? All right, guys. It's 9:40, and I've got a call at the gym at 5 a.m. So it's a wrap for this girl. I'm excited for you guys. Can't wait to see what you post. Make sure you comment in the messages and let us know when you put it out so we can give you love. It's a love fest. Have fun. Good night.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Night.